Welcome to the HMG Executive Leadership Spotlight. Here's our host, Hunter Muller.
Hello and welcome to the HMG Spotlight. I'm Hunter Muller, founder and CEO of HMG Strategy. Excited and delighted to be here with Stephen Fridakis. Stephen is the CISO for Oracle Health. Stephen, congratulations on being our large cap CISO of the year for the HMG Global Leadership Institute.
Thank you, Hunter. I'm very pleased and honored by this recognition.
Hey, you got to agree, we're in unprecedented times in the cyber threat landscape, the global cyber threat landscape. When you think about visionary leadership, which is the theme of the HMG 2024 conference series, global visionary leadership, what do you think about most?
I like to be results oriented and to have a global perspective about what I do. I have worked and lived in many countries for many years. I like to dream big. I translate into vision and actionable security plans, but at the same time, I like quick wins. I like to think of me as a security Swiss Army knife. I like to tackle complex threats with a blend of technology expertise, business understanding, and industry knowledge. I foster collaboration, but also hold myself and my team accountable to what we do. Strong relationships with management and different teams are essential. Everyone should understand the role in keeping our data and our applications secure. We need to set clear metrics to track progress so we can celebrate short-term wins, but at the same time, hold ourselves accountable in long-term goals. My healthcare experience helps vastly in my current role and in past roles in media or international NGOs. I made a point to learn from business leaders their expectations and pain points. I remember once a UN manager telling me that peacekeeping and international development was the Earth, and IT and security is the moon. The moon exists because of the Earth's gravitational pull. If the Earth was to be suffocated by the moon, it won't be sustainable. So security on its own has no reason to exist. We're here to support the business mission.
Great stuff. And you have to agree, having great relationships with the business, the line of business, the C-suite, the CEO, and the board are key, right?
Yes. But also it is important to know how to communicate. So while the underlying message, an understanding of the risk posture, an understanding of ongoing challenges and ongoing issues that have to be addressed are essentially the same. The delivery mechanism has to be attributable to the audience. So in many cases, there is the formality of communicating to the board how we are achieving our various attestations of compliance to the various regulations that we are supposed to. We have selected metrics that we believe that they're things that easily translate to whether the organization is facing specific risks or not. So as an example, we communicate whether we met internal audit objectives. We communicate whether we had any attempts to break our perimeter. And that always catches their attention, and how we were able to deter them and what kind of tools we deployed without getting into many technical nuances. But it is very important to be able to communicate a combination of what is in place, how that is effective in terms of deterring attacks, and at the same time, ongoing improvements that we need to make and the investments that we need to make or other adjustments in terms of skill gap or anything else for us to be able to meet our goals. So that is how we adjust essentially the same theme and the same message to fit the audiences that we address.
Stephen, how do you go about prioritizing the threat landscape and prioritizing your investments and bets?
So there are a couple of things here. We have found that traditional metrics are not very easy to comprehend and frankly to be able to prove, like things like return on investment. We do not find those to be very effective. Instead, we use a broader concept. I call it return on technology, and I have no claim on the title. So what this does, it translates measurable improvements in our overall security posture that is achieved through partnerships and technology investments. So it is in essence a risk metric. And it says that if you partner with a certain vendor, if you acquire a certain technology, that this particular investment will be able to reduce your risk in specific tangible terms. So that can be cost savings, that can be something that is better management of a system. And all of that is the kind of method that we utilize for us to communicate what is the specific priority when we look at the various investments. So that allows us to be proactive in identifying and mitigating risks, but also allows to get away from communicating just about risks. We communicate more along the lines of returns, and the return in a time dimension, because obviously it takes time for us to realize its benefit. So that's the kind of thought process that we utilize these days.
Teamwork is key to success in getting everyone in the organization on board with your vision, a collective vision with the business, the C-suite, and the CEO. How do you work not only within IT, but across the enterprise to make sure that everyone's got the message on keeping priority one, a safe and secure enterprise?
We are a line of business at Oracle, and one of many. We rely on centralized functions to be able to deliver services for us to meet our goals. We rely on centralized functions to be able to give us attestations of compliance to our many regulations. So the one thing is for all of us, all these functions, whether those are external or internal, to be on the same page. That means that we hold weekly briefings explaining what is going on. And what that means is that what our customers are experiencing, what new products we are releasing, what are the current states of our regulatory affairs, what is the information from internal audit, and so on. So this is the proverbial ongoing pain points, but the participation is broad, and the participation is from what I call our whole ecosystem, so that everybody understands what the expectations are. That is the point where we purposefully avoid to be tactical. We're strategic, and we're saying that this is what's going on. This is the things that we expect everyone to help us meet. And that is how we communicate our ongoing, if you like, risk of the week, to avoid saying risk of the day. That allows us to also listen back from the perspective, which is quite important in a company such as ours, from the perspective of common functions about whether they see similar things from other industries. We are big believers in cross-industrial notification of security events. And while we cannot go and talk to every single line of business, this is the kind of forum where we allow centralized functions to tell us that they've seen something similar happening in hospitality, or they've seen something similar happening in manufacturing. And so therefore, it serves a dual purpose. We communicate to them what's going on, bringing everybody to the same page. They communicate to us whether they see any similar indications of potential trouble or anything that could affect our operations.
You've had an amazing career, and you've worked with some incredible technology companies. It's got to be pretty challenging to keep on the cutting edge ahead of your whole organization, because you have so many thought leaders, so many industry experts, so many really brilliant people in a company like Oracle.
Indeed, that certainly humbles me sometimes, trying to be as good as they are, is learning a lot. But we're also trying to not always be transactional. We believe that they, each one of them, help us enable a certain function or help us understand how things work. We believe that a lot of people have many things to offer. And also I want to add this other dimension to that. There are so many acquisitions, and acquisitions are challenging, but not only because of cultural perspective, but also because of technology. Technologies are legacy. Sometimes technologies are not even in the cloud. Currently, one of my biggest undertakings is to take an acquisition of a company called Cerner that is a multi-billion acquisition, multiple health environments that do not operate in the cloud, and actually enable them to operate in a cloud setting. So as you can imagine, we're doing this while these are operational hospitals, and we need to do it in a way that we do not disrupt their operations, we do not disrupt patient care, And also considering that timely migration to the cloud, which may not necessarily be fast, needs to take in consideration a lot of interfaces, a lot of third-party components, a lot of devices that may actually have never been made to operate in a cloud setting. So this is where we rely on our colleagues and our experts to tell us how that will happen, and help them integrate their knowledge into a healthcare setting.
Stephen, great answer. Hey, how do you build a world-class team, and how would you describe your leadership style?
So it is all about holding myself, first of all, accountable, and being able to always be transparent and having open communications about common goals. In a team as complex and as globally dispersed as the one I currently work in, it is absolutely impossible to rely on you having to essentially be aware or do everything that is going on. It is essential that you hire a team that is really good, not only at the day-to-day tasks, but as good leaders to anticipate what can go wrong and build into that potential risk or potential issues. We lead by anticipating of the potential problem that is in the corner. The second thing is that we make a point to visit, spend time with our customers and understand what's going on. I came from a healthcare setting, but not a lot of my colleagues had that opportunity. So it is essential to actually go into an emergency room, if you can, go into an intake of patients or a pharmacy setting, and it's actually it's thrilling sometimes to actually see the logo and say, these people are using our software, so let's see what they do with it. So the last thing is that there is always an investment into, I call it investment in challenge, which means that you want to always challenge someone to become better at what they are, but at the same time, give them not only the opportunity, but the tools. And the tools may translate into something tangible or to simply training. So that is what allows someone to grow and continue growing. So while I'm hiring people that are really good, and I'm not cutting corners in the one most important thing that we do, which is hiring, the second thing is to be able to recognize how allowing somebody to be challenged and fulfill their own personal motivations and their own personal goals by becoming better and giving them the opportunity the same way somebody afforded me that opportunity when I was obviously much younger.
Stephen, great answer. Congratulations on being a 2024 HMG Strategy Large Cap CISO of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hunter.